finally come. One of my closest friends, Sarah, is getting married in just a couple days. So I have today and tomorrow to get myself organized and get myself packed. And I was upstairs looking at my vanity and I realized I have no idea what kind of makeup I want to do. My dress is dark navy. There's some lighter blue and some peachy kind of coral colors. So I don't want to go too peachy and be matchy-matchy. And I have been kind of gravitating towards bronzes and shimmery shades. So I'm thinking of doing that and just amping it up and also kind of elongating the shape of my eye just a little bit. So that's my rough idea, but I like to, before I go on a trip or an event, I like to do my makeup once exactly how I'm planning on doing it. And as I'm getting ready, I set those products aside and it just helps make packing a little bit easier. So that's my plan for today. We're going to test out this look I have in my mind and then I'm gonna see if I like it enough to wear it to the wedding. But before we get into actually putting products on, let me show you what I already have on my face. The first thing I use, this is my newest favorite primer. It's from Pacifica and it's their Rose Gold Brightening Primer Serum. And it is serum-y and very liquidy, so I like to first apply it to the center of my face and then I'll gently blend it out. And this pairs so nicely with my favorite summertime foundation. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation. And I really like applying this foundation with a beauty blender. It helps to make it spread very easy. It shears it out just enough so my skin looks like skin without losing coverage. And the main reason I want to use this foundation is that it's an evening wedding and I'm also going to be doing Sarah's makeup for the wedding. So I'm going to have to do my makeup much earlier. So I want something that's going to last and still look fresh by the time we get to the actual wedding. So this is the foundation I'm pretty sure I'm going to use. And then for concealer, no doubt, it will be the Urban Decay Naked Skin. My favorite concealer. It does such a great job of canceling out any kind of discoloration. To set the foundation and concealer, I used my favorite RMS Beauty Unpowder, and this is the clear untinted one. This for me is fine in flash photography if I use a small amount. So instead of using my large fluffy brush like I normally do, I took my Real Techniques setting brush and I only use this where I know I'm gonna need it, where I usually get oily. So I applied it in my T-zone and just tapped it in lightly. And I also used a light amount of product right underneath my eyes to make sure my concealer doesn't crease. I'm a little bit sad about my brows. I have gone to the same lady who threads my brows for years and she always does them the same way. But I went last week and I felt like she took a little bit more off than she normally does. So they're just a little bit skinnier and I'm not sure if I like that look. So I spent a little bit of extra time on my brows today and built them up a little bit. The first thing I used was my MAC brow pencil in Lingering, and I used this to just lightly thicken up the bottom portion so they looked like how they did before. And then since I'm going just a tiny bit more dramatic on my eyes, I wanted my brows to be a little bit darker. So I used my Eco Brow. This is a kind of pomade, a brow pomade, and I have this in the shade Rita, which is for people with auburn hair. And I use this on an angle brush, and I really use this in the body of my brows just to build up the color. And then for a little bit of added definition, I'm gonna first take the bronzer side of this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. I'm gonna take that on a NARS brush. This is a cheek brush. It doesn't have the exact name on it, but I really like it. It's just the perfect size to fit right underneath the cheekbone. So first apply it in a little strip and then gently start to blend it up so it's not looking too harsh. I don't want a ton of color on my cheeks, but I do want a little bit. So I think I'm gonna use, this is brand new to me. It came in a PR package just a couple days ago. It's from Tata Harper and it's called the Volumizing Lip and Cheek Tint and it's in the shade Very Nice. I already love this so much, which I don't know if you can say that after 2 days, but first impressions are very good. So I'm gonna use this on the Real Techniques stippling brush and I'm just going to tap right into the product a couple times, tap off on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to start soft, kind of a soft look, and then build it up if I need to. I went back to the same NARS brush, this time into the highlighter side of the Charlotte Tilbury palette. And this is still, even though that there's some others I do like the Jaclyn Hill Becca highlighter, but this is still my #1 favorite powdered highlighter. To start this eye look, I'm gonna do my everyday look, which is to put a cream color all over from my lashes up underneath my brow. And then I'm gonna take a mid-tone, slightly warmer shade and buff that in my crease. And to do this, I'm gonna use my Tartelette palette. Amp up this look and make it a little bit more evening, I'm going to use my 2 favorite Kat Von D shadows. These are amazing and I think by the time you see this, you'll have already seen my August favorites. These are a huge favorite. They are fantastic eyeshadows. This first one I'm gonna use is called Thunderstruck, and I think this is my favorite really brightening all over lid shade. So I have this shadow on a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna press it all over my lid and then make sure to get in the inner corner because that's gonna help add a lot of light. Now that everything's light and bright, I wanna add a little bit of drama into the look. So I'm gonna use the color Synergy, which is a beautiful bronze. And instead of normally, like on a normal day, I would just take this and kind of do this motion right in the crease. I do a very rounded look. Today I'm going to try to extend out a little bit, and you can use tape, or if you just have a really steady hand and you have really even eyes and you can just do it freehand. I'm going to use my foundation bottle. This is the MAC Nourishing Foundation, and I'm going to line it up, get the angle I want, and then apply Synergy right on top of it, and that will help me not drag the color down too low and start making my eyes look a little bit heavy. Using light little circular motions, I want to keep this kind of concentrated on the outside corner. I don't want to bring it in too far. So you can see that gave me a really crisp line, and then I'm going to soften it a little bit with the blending brush I was using earlier. I'm going to use the Got Inked Cushion Eyeliner from Stila in my favorite shade, which is Copper Ink. I'm going to create kind of a thicker line, maybe like a medium thick line, and I don't think I'm going to wing it out at all. To finish up my eyes, I use some of the Tarte Skinny Smolder Eyes in the color Moonstone Brown. And I use this to line my upper waterline and then smudge a little bit into the outer corner of my lower lash line and just on the waterline just a little bit for a little bit of added drama. And then for mascara, I use the Benefit Roller Lash, which is feeling a little bit dry to me, so I might need to pick up a new one before we leave. But that's everything for eyes. I'm gonna go and take down my hair really quick, and then I'll finish up with lips. I think I'm gonna go with a Jane Iredale lip combination, and to start off, I'm gonna use their lip liner in the shade Spice. And then for the actual color, I'm gonna use, this is brand new to their line, they're called the Play On Lip Crayons. And I got the shade Luscious in a PR box this week, and I've been wearing it all the time, and I think it's a beautiful shade. So I'm just going to dot this right on top of the lip pencil. This is my completed wedding guest makeup, and I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I do think I need to try on my dress just to make sure that I like how it all looks together. But I think this is gonna be the makeup that travels with me. If I end up changing anything like a different highlighter or a different eyeliner, I will leave that in the description box. But I really appreciate you watching, and I will be back very soon with new videos.